Holy crap, there it is. The Philadelphia 76ers will work with James Harden to find a trade. NBA offseason bomb. We'll break it all down here on Philly Take with RB.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome into the show. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Be sure to subscribe and also ring the bell down below. That way you don't miss any of the coverage. Once again, I'm literally about to leave, and boom, the biggest bombshell of the NBA offseason. And yes, James Harden opting in, but not for the reason you think. He had a deadline today of 5 p.m., or according to the new CBA, it was 5 p.m., to opt in or either, opt out and go test free agency. But just now, a bomb drops, and we're going to try to break it all down. I'm literally giving you my live reaction and thoughts here, and I have a lot to say in a little bit of time. Before we jump right into it, shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Manta Sleep. You guys got to check out the Manta Sleep Mask Pro. You're going to need a ton of sleep after tonight and tomorrow when free agency hits. Things are going insane right now. I'm laying down at night, or I'm laying down trying to take a nap, and my mind is wandering all over the place. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep at all, and I'm going to need the Manta Sleep Mask Pro. True 100% blackout for deep sleep, C-shaped eye cups for unbeatable side sleep comfort, zero pressure on the eyelids or eyelashes, advanced materials, and great ventilation. Very lightweight product, slides right over the head. You can lay on your back, your side, your stomach. It does not matter. I'm telling you right now, you're going to need one of these bad boys because you are not going to be able to sleep thinking about where James Harden is going and all of the rumors and news. So go check it out down below. Go to mantasleep.com. Click the link down in the description and use promo code PhillyTake to get 10% off your order. Holy crap, guys. I was not expecting that at this time. Let's jump right into it. So James Harden, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, is picking up his $35.6 million option, and the sides are beginning to work together in exploring trade scenarios. Sources tell ESPN it is expected that Harden has played his last game in Philadelphia. Now, they've been talking about these situations, for the past week or a couple weeks, and I thought that James Harden was going to opt out and try to get maybe a 2 or 3 year deal. And, he was going to come back to Philadelphia. You've heard all these rumors about Houston, right? It's been Philly or Houston. It's been Philly or Houston, and Houston has $60 million of cap space. They're probably going to sign maybe Fred VanVleet and another player. And I honestly think what's going on over here, again, I haven't had time to look or read or even hear about anything. I think James Harden demanded a certain amount of money. And, shout out to Daryl Morey. I'm telling you, if you're not on the Morey train, I know he's been, highly criticized, and there is, criticism that has been deserved. But before even reading into this, what I expect happen is Daryl Morey finally stood his ground. And as I said at the beginning of the offseason, he separated business from friendship. And he said, no, James, we're not paying you $45 million, as it was reported today that Harden could command $45 million, which would put the Sixers into the tax almost. And Daryl Morey probably said, no, we're not doing that. That will not help this team out. And we're not giving you a 4-year max deal, which I said all along is what they cannot do. You go 2 years with a player option, and that's it. We'll talk about what this means for the team, but that's what this signals to me, because they're not saying Houston here. In fact, Woj followed up, and he says the Clippers and the Knicks are expected to be among the teams that will engage with the Sixers on a potential trade. He does not mention the Houston Rockets. So James Harden couldn't have opted out and went to the Rockets and said, here, pay me $50 million. No, it's not happening. James Harden tried to demand a certain amount, and the Sixers said no. And now, even according to Keith Smith here, he says that this is not an extend and trade situation. So essentially, James Harden had only signed a 2-year deal last offseason, right? He's opting into the player option. He's only going to be getting a 1-year deal here in 2024. Like, he's going to be getting a 1-year deal and then become an unrestricted free agent after this year. So he's playing out the final year. That even tells me that there was no market for James Harden. He is going to try to make the most value out of himself, and then he's going to try to get the contract next offseason, which is a risky call for James Harden, who continues to pack up some injuries. And, this is just insane, man. I don't understand, because I know James Harden didn't feel like he fit into the Sixers offense, but now you have a new identity, a completely new coach. And let's be honest, I don't think Nick Nurse's system completely fits James Harden. I've said that since Nick Nurse was hired, and maybe James met with him and didn't believe the same. And maybe he wants to go somewhere where he'll have the ball more in his hands and will not have to only be relied on as a facilitator at times. I think he wants to try to go back to being the old James Harden. I just don't know if it'll work. But who was it that sat up here and on Twitter? I got completely roasted for the last week and a half ever since the draft. We were looking at this draft board mystery. RB, you're crazy. That doesn't say PG. Well, maybe it did. Maybe it did. Why is James Harden in red ink? Remember who pointed that out? Look, all I'm saying is they know something that we don't. And this has obviously been brewing now for a while. I don't think this happened today where James Harden said, you know what, trade me. No, this has been boiling. And the Philadelphia 76ers have a name here listed on this board. They have names, and this says PG. And a lot of people believe that it meant Paul George. And I just brought it up on Twitter saying, what if you go out and there's rumors about the Clippers, right? And you do some type of sign and trade. You bring playoff P in here with Maxey and Embiid. Is it a perfect fit? No, I don't even want to get into that yet. But you are going to probably trade James Harden for a superstar. So help me. And you remember I joked about Eric Gordon, Robert Covington, and Norman Powell. If that happens, man, I do not see this team taking a gap year. They brought Nick Nurse here. They want to win. They were close to the conference finals. What happened here is that Daryl Morey, who loves James Harden as a person, had to have, met at this point. And Daryl Morey said, I'm not nudging anymore. And James Harden said, I'm not either. So they said, okay, we're just going to have to part our ways here. And that's what I believe truly happened. Now, there's another report from Jake Fisher that apparently the Clippers have actually approached Philly not only on James Harden, but on Tobias Harris. So could we see another deal happen? I don't know. This is absolutely crazy. Get me Paul George or get me Jalen Brunson. Other than that, man, the Clippers and the Knicks, who knows what other teams could get involved here. I just don't think there's an insane market for James Harden because of the injury and because of the way that they have failed in the playoffs. It's not only his fault. He showed great moments, but at the end of the day, after 2 seasons, James Harden is going to be on another team next season. And my quick thoughts on it, because I'm not going to go into like a goodbye speech until Harden is actually traded, but James Harden is the best point guard, maybe the best co-star that Joel Embiid has ever played with, but they just could not get it done together, mainly due to injury, in my opinion. And, unfortunately, they both just did not show up in the playoffs. And I'm actually surprised here because I thought James Harden would view Joel Embiid and view Philadelphia as his best way to continue, building his value, maybe get that next contract and try to win a championship. If James Harden goes to one of these other teams, he better be sure that it is the right avenue for finally getting that championship, unless he doesn't care, right? That's why the rumor was if he goes back to Houston, he's kind of just settling into his home and it's, he's winding down. But I thought James Harden had the competitor in him and now he wants a trade. So, they must have just hit a standstill and there's no coming back for it. But on the positive side, although it may not help the Sixers much this offseason, which we'll get into tomorrow in terms of flexibility, this will help them out more in the long term. And now you got to wonder what's going to happen with Tobias. What did I say all along the last couple weeks? I said, if James Harden leaves, I think Tobias might stay. I think he might be the third option now. I don't know what's going to happen, but this team belongs to Joel Embiid. And let me pull it up. The stud himself, which this is the part I'm most happiest about. This is the part I am happiest about. This team now belongs to a guy who will get more volume that he has deserved. Has he been perfect? No, but he's 22 years old. He's an upcoming star. And now this offense will partially be controlled by him more than it was in the past. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, and who knows what else they're going to get around him. Maybe they're going to finally build around Joel and Maxey and get shooters and 3-and-D wings like they should have. I don't know. This is absolute chaos. The phone is blowing up. And I'm out of here, man. You guys let me know what you think down below about James Harden requesting out. We're probably getting a lot more news at this point. We'll catch up on all of it tomorrow. We'll be live for free agency. Give me all your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.